Hi, you guys. I obviously shuffled. I like shuffling the deck because I want to truly know what is coming up. And then I kind of felt a little bit lost when I was writing the caption for the thumbnail. So obviously I flipped the cards. And lo and behold, the very first card is about forgiveness. And obviously, if you're resonating with this message, with this thumbnail, welcome. Hi, hello. If you're new, like this video. And if you're somebody who is a veteran and you have been here for a little while, thank you so much because I was literally reading about forgiveness this morning. Like, honestly, I adore when Spirit confirms all of these messages that come out in the aligned timing. Why is this important? Well, I feel that forgiveness is playing a vital part in whoever's meant to hear this message, whether it's now or in the future sometimes. Life does invite us into specific conditions, into specific challenges that really do challenge us to the core. Now, this Celtic goddess is Branwen. They, she forgave those who caused her own death by a broken heart. And she asks you to set yourself free from the seeds of resentment that will choke the life out of your dreams. Now, we have been wounded by others, and we often have woven stories about our hurts, about our losses, about the life that we've lived. It's just such a heavy burden on our hearts and our minds. And a lot of times we end up putting up a wall, cementing it in place, making sure it's guarded. And we come to distrust the potential of love and connection. We come to distrust individuals because of those hurts, because of the past pain. Yes, we are supposed to learn from them, but we aren't supposed to guard ourselves away from love. Now, it doesn't matter what your story is or when it began. Forgiveness is such a big part of your vulnerability into acknowledging that, yes, you've been hurt, that, you might have been manipulated and abused, and you're allowed to come back to this sense of vulnerability where everything has given you the opportunity to forgive in spite of what you've gone through, have the ability to choose freedom through forgiveness. And it really does point to this mending, to this repairing your own heart. Sometimes I read somewhere that they didn't break your heart, they broke the expectations that you had. And that was a very unique perspective to put upon a broken heart. And I really like the fact that forgiveness is always about ourselves. It's not about the other person. The other person, it doesn't really matter whether they've forgiven us or not. The fact that we can forgive them, we can forgive ourselves, most importantly, because we forget to do that. Because our heart needs to remain open. We need to begin again. We need to have our beauty, our freedom, our treasures in the spirit of forgiveness. So if you are being triggered lately, this is just because your vulnerability are going to give you access to your divine self. That is where your vulnerability, your openness, your sense of awe, your sense of wonder in this world is to be, yes, 100% accountable for your thoughts and feelings and beliefs and motives and actions. But when you're not doing this, when you're experiencing forgiveness from someone else or even from yourself, it's actually having the strength to take that personal accountability, take that responsibility of those actions, right? And we shouldn't be guilted or shamed or um, having any other sort of experience that can bring down the heart space, but it's about standing in the empowered humbleness of your own courage and respect. So I feel like The forgiveness is much more than just forgiving others. It's actually forgiveness on your own behalf for releasing those expectations, right? Forgiving yourself to allow those triggers to see what not only have they taught you, but also how you can overcome them, how you can move forward from them, how you can still keep your heart open. And then we have the card of um, Elen of the Ways. Now, Elen of the Ways is a card of patterns. There could be a series of patterns that are coming up to, it could be leading to some positive experiences, but it also is aligning, lighting up those habits that can actually forge a new reality. Now, I'm literally seeing fabric woven. It's almost like a tapestry. It's like patchwork of you're creating this fabric of reality to support your dreams, and they are going to all manifest in the physical world. And this sense of awareness, this sense of discipline to make it happen, you can do it now. You are allowing your experiences to be thread through because of the fact that you're able to be vulnerable in your own sense of forgiveness, but you're also experiencing this newfound sense of happiness because you're aligning with your higher self, because you're aligning with all the guides and the goddesses and the high priest and priestesses of your world right now. It's showing up in your dreams in a new way. And we are being called to action through the goddess's support. You are the creator. Whoever's listening to this right now or in the near future, you are the creator. You evolve, create, manifest miracles, and they are all possible. And so yes, we can build bridges through our self-forgiveness, through forgiveness of others. We can build bridges with any divide that might have temporarily separated ourselves from ourselves, right? This is about making new choices. This is a really big signpost to say, yes, you're on the right path and the path is clear. Now, I can't believe how direct this message is coming through because whatever conditions are, say, reoccurring for you at this time, it is an opportunity to move forward beyond those limits, beyond the expected disappointment or habitual behavior that you might have been carrying. You don't want to repeat this lesson, or you don't want to be finding yourself back on the same path with the same people, the same conditions, but you are choosing to think, do, and be different. So allow this support to foster that, to nourish that. And actually, the last card we have here is Ishtar, which is card number 24, and it is about communion. So Ishtar here is about the intimate relationship with the invisible world. I really like this theme because we were talking about vulnerability for accessing our divine self, our higher self. We're talking about the patterns so we can nurture the relationship with ourselves that little bit more deeper, but also this communion card is all about being in the invisible world, because you're entering this unfamiliar environment, this unfamiliar situation, and it's really this goddess energy within you, within the divine masculine and the divine feminine. When the world becomes your oracle, like I'm so astounded with these cards because I get that they're aligning for me. When you're listening to these videos, whenever this may occur, you're aligning to this frequency, and this high vibrational frequency is so powerful. So that already exists within you. This is a mirror to you and to remind you how extraordinary you actually are. This world is becoming your oracle because you're opening up to communicate everything you need in the form of signs, in the form of omens, in the form of messages. Like when you get those synchronicities, it's not just about the synchronicities, it's saying, yes, you are on the right path. This is exactly where you're meant to be. And so when we pay attention to those synchronicities, those moments, there is no logic there. When people say, oh, you're seeing this number and this is what it means, scrap it, put it in the bin, and rewrite your own signs and synchronicities. Ask for specific signs for your specific intention, for your goal-orientated outcome. Ask for these signs to lead you to confirm you're on the right path. And so when you seek logic, when you seek reasoning, it's failing to give you the bigger picture. It's failing you to see the bigger, broader aspect of this thing. And so Ishtar is here to remind you of the time of those ancient temples when the priestesses was serving as oracles. And this is what I was saying earlier, like you're aligning with these high priestesses and the high priests. And this is such a beautiful card, embedded in wisdom, embedded in guidance. And it's actually looking at those habits and looking at those opportunities in your current life that's asking for you to be in the magic of communion. Being in this self-centered connection with source in such a sacred, intimate way. And that is where you're co-creating. That is where you're creating your reality. So no one really is here to rescue you. When you're acting empowered, when you're able to speak and listen and stand up for yourself, you are aware that you are consciously creating and manifesting this wonderful miracle that is you. And sometimes when we refuse to see those signs, it does take us down a path that we really don't want to be on. It sometimes indicates some red flags for us. But it's not a sign to jump in with both feet if it feels off, if it feels odd in your body. And so this is a reminder to say things aren't what they seem, but things are going to be revealed for you. And sometimes, yeah, we can be stubborn and we take the longer path. We repeat those older lessons. But this oracle is kind of like veering you towards letting go the attachment that it's not for your best interests. The truth is here saying that you are so wise, you are so aligned with the universe, and you are the perfect form of divine timing, and everything is working out for you. But this also means that you might have to wait a while. It might need you to reconnect with a partnership of those goddesses and trust that you're not going to be left behind, that this connection is at the core of everything, and you are exactly where you were supposed to be. So have that faith and trust in this beautiful, beautiful journey unfolding. And if you're still here and you haven't clicked the like button, please do hit the like button. I'm so grateful for every single one of you for joining here, for commenting, for liking. I'm so, so appreciative of you. And I'm sending you guys so much love. Bye for now.